Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're going to do the real review of the Samsung Galaxy S6 and the Galaxy S6 Edge. Now, these are pretty much the same phone other than the Edge feature, so no reason to make two separate videos. We're just going to knock this all out in one video. Now, for everybody that's new to my channel, let me throw my usual disclaimer out here. When I call this the real review, I'm not trying to say that anybody else's review is fake. No. I call this the real review because I'm a real consumer. Every phone that you see me review on my channel is a phone that I bought myself, so I don't got no reason to give y'all any biased information or any reason to play favorites. I want every phone that I get to be the top dog. Alright, but it doesn't always work out like that, but that's what I want. Alright, so let's get right into the action. Now I'm going to start this video the same way I started the M9 review, with the main question that everybody been asking me is, if I got a Samsung Galaxy S5, should I upgrade to the S6? Now, when they asked me that for the M9, I said no, because it's not really that much of an upgrade. But with the Galaxy S6, the answer is yes. All right, it's a major upgrade. Now, if somebody asked you if you went out and bought an M9 and you had an M8, and somebody said, why did you upgrade? You're going to say, well, it has a better processor and the M9 has a better camera. And pretty much a little bit different build, but pretty much the same build. So not too many, features for as far as an upgrade. And you also have the new Sense, whatever. Now, when somebody asks you, why did you upgrade from your Galaxy S5 to the Galaxy S6? It's real simple. You could just throw out a whole bunch of features, such as wireless charging, such as the upgraded fingerprint scanner, such as a new build, redesigned build. So now you got the metal build, such as the speaker on the bottom, new TouchWiz, better camera on the front and the back, better processor, and most importantly, the display, the best display on the market. So you got a lot of upgrades right now. This justifies upgrading your phone. All right, so I'm going to say yes, it's definitely worth the upgrade. Now, as usual, there's always going to be some things I don't like. So let's talk about everything I don't like first, and then we'll get into everything that I do like. Now, I will be nitpicking. All right, I will be kind of picky. Some of these things are not that important, but the goal of this video is to help you out when you're making your next purchase. You're getting ready to drop $700, $800 on the phone. I'm trying to throw out everything that I can to help you with that decision. All right. First thing that I don't like is the size. All right. Now the size, 5.1 inches, it's a little bit small for my taste. Now everybody's different, but the point is, if you're coming from a Galaxy Note 4 or you're coming from an iPhone 6 Plus or a Nexus 6, it's going to take you a while to get used to going down with the size. All right, you're going backwards with the size. It's going to take a while to get used to, especially if you got used to typing on your keyboard fast. Now you're going to a smaller keyboard, so you're going to be making more mistakes. This is just something to consider. All right, not a big deal. If you're in the market for a 5-inch phone, then this is what you want. Next, no removable battery. Now, is that the biggest deal in the world? Is that a deal breaker? No. All right, because a lot of hot phones don't have removable batteries, like the Nexus, like the iPhone, like the HTC M9. A lot of phones don't have removable batteries. But if you're coming from a Note 4, you're coming from, a G3, something that has a removable battery, and you got used to walking around carrying extra batteries in your pocket, that's something that's important that you want to think about. All right, I'm definitely not feeling no removable battery, but there's ways around it. You get yourself a portable battery charger, get yourself a battery charge case, and you'll be fine. You don't always have to walk around with your plug looking for somewhere to plug it in. You don't have to do that. Next, no expandable memory. Okay, so you can't put a micro SD card in here. Now, is that a big deal? It could be to you. For me, it's kind of a big deal because when I like to travel, I like to have my 10 micro SD cards with different movies and different shows. I like to have all that stuff on deck. I like to be able to switch in and out easily, and you can't do that with these. All right, so that's something I don't like. Is it the biggest deal in the world? No, because I got a bunch of phones. But for you, that might be a big deal. Now, I got the 32 gig version. It does come in 64 gig and 128 gig. So if you only got one phone, and that's going to be your main phone, and you're going to load it with a whole bunch of apps and pictures and videos and media, then you want to make sure you're going to get, make sure you get a bigger size memory that's going to fit your needs. All right, 32 gig might not be enough if it's going to be your main phone and you're going to be power using it. Then I suggest getting 64 and better. Next, now they took away some of the gimmicks. Now this is for both phones. Okay, they took away some of the gimmicks. Now I say gimmicks loosely, but things are only a gimmick if you don't use it. Some of the features that they took away that people claim that was gimmicks, I actually use, like AirView. Remember AirView? Remember when you had a email and you could just put your finger over it and hover over it and read the email? That was an important feature for me that I actually liked and I used a lot. And they took that away. Now I know that we'll talk about why they took it away in a minute. But I like that. Also, the toolbox. Now, that's not a big deal because they have apps on the market. I showed you that in my What's on my Android phone video. There's a toolbox app that you could just download. Same thing. But, these are just stuff that I like to have native on the phone without having to, start downloading more stuff, taking up more memory. All right, so no more. Some of the gimmicky features are gone. Not a big deal, though. Not a big deal. But if you trained yourself using the S5 to use all these features and try to get your money's worth, now when you get your new phone, you're used to those features. They're not there no more. All right, so not a big deal, though. Next, the phone is no longer waterproof. Now, for me, I don't really care. I got a whole bunch of waterproof cases. I always get those, and I'm not the big underwater kind of guy. But if that was one of your main reasons for buying the S5, which a lot of people, like that feature that is waterproof, then now you don't have that on this phone. So now you're definitely going to have to get in the market for a waterproof case if you're a lifeguard or if in the summertime you're on beach patrol, Coney Island, you're at the beach. You're going to have to get yourself a waterproof case because now the phone can get damaged. Next, battery life. All right, now this is important. We're not talking about specs here. All right, I don't care about specs on paper. I care about real world usage. Now, regardless if they say 2600 milliamps and you have the octa-core processor, which is supposed to blah, 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 all of that, it doesn't matter. If you power use this phone, you're not going to get a full 8 hours, a full work day out of it. You're not going to get that. Trust me. Okay. Now, moderate use, yes. If you like using battery saving options and all that, you could do that too. But I'm the type of dude, I like my phone to be on full throttle all day long. Brightness level up a little bit high because I'm in and out, I'm outside a lot. So I like my brightness level up. I like all my push notifications coming in when they're supposed to come in. I like the vibration on the keyboard. I like everything that drains battery. I like to have 1,000 apps running at the same time. You're not going to get a full day's worth of battery. Now, you can use battery saving features if you want. There's a lot of tricks and tips how to save battery. I could get through a whole day if I wanted, but I'm just talking to the power users right now. If you're used to using your phone, if you had an iPhone 6 or you had a Galaxy, if you had a Nexus 6 and you used to power using and getting 8 hours out of it, you're not going to get that with the S6. You're going to get 4 hours, if that. You'll be lucky if you get 4 hours. Okay, so battery, not that great, but there's ways around it. Next. Now, this is just about the Edge. One thing I don't like about the Edge is not too much functionality with the edges. Okay, now we'll get into that when we get started with the Edge, when we get started with everything I do like. But just let me show you something with the Note Edge. This is functionality on the Edge. You see now, I'm at my lock screen. I could go to different apps. I could swipe down. I got a flashlight. I got the voice recorder. I got a timer. I got a ruler. I could just keep cycling through. Let me turn that off. I could keep cycling through right from the home screen. Got my music. You got more functionality with the Note 4 Edge. Now, with the S6 Edge, you do get some functionality, but it's very limited and it's very basic. Okay, so not too much functionality on the Edge. I wish they would have made it more. Like you don't get notifications on the Edge. That's a main feature that I love about the Note 4 Edge is when you got your phone face down like this and you're getting your notifications on the screen, it looks sick. All right, but you don't get that with the S6 Edge. And the last thing I don't like about the S6 Edge, actually, not the S6, the S6 Edge, is the price. You're paying an extra $100 in change, all right, and basically all you're getting is the design. Now, I know what you're going to say. You got to pay to play. We already know the rules. You definitely got to pay to play. If you want the latest and greatest, you're going to have to pay. But an extra $100 just to get a little bit of functionality, Samsung is trying, they pulled the apple on us. They put the expensive price tag on something that's not really worth that price. All right, now I think it should have been, if the S6 is going to be $650, the S6 Edge should have been $700. All right, $50 I won't really complain about, but $100 in change, that's highway robbery. All right, that's the last thing I don't like is the extra $100 in change just for the Edge function, which is not even that functional. Now, with that being said, let's get into everything that I do like. All right, first up, now this is for both phones, the build. All right, the build quality. Now, I know I said before, now a lot of people was trying to call me out on this. I said before that the M9 was my favorite built phone. And that was before I actually started using this one. So what I got to say to y'all cats is I'm allowed to change my mind, all right? And that's how it's always going to be with tech. There's nothing that's ever going to be your favorite. Like, the Note 4 was your favorite phone until the Note 5 came out. And then Apple might come out with iPhone 7 that's totally different, and that might be your favorite. So your favorites are always going to change. So don't lock me into something that I said a long time ago, because you're only as good as your latest product. So Samsung S5, the build quality was trash, and basically everything else in the market that I like was, not able to compete with the M9's build. But now you got this right here. All right, this is to me the best built phone. The glass on the back. All right, you're gonna love that. When you're holding this phone in your hand, that's when you're gonna feel this build quality. Now, one thing I will say is when you're holding the Edge as opposed to holding the S6, you're gonna notice that it feels a lot sharper. All right, now that's an easy fix. Just drop a case on it and you won't have that sharpness feeling. But the S6 feels better to hold in your hand naked, all right, raw dog without a case. The S6 feels better to hold in your hand than the S6 Edge. But once you drop a case on it, then the S6 Edge becomes my favorite. And even with the case on it, you still get to see the build quality with the edges. So that's a plus. All right, so that's a plus. So the S6 Edge and the S6 right now, two of my favorite built phones out. That's now I'm not, shitting on the M9. That's my second favorite built phone. All right, but right now I'm giving the title to the S6. The build quality is terrific. Next, wireless charging. All right, now that's a big deal. All right, that's a big deal for me. I got a whole bunch of these wireless chargers. Let me see, do I got any juice on this one? Now, anywhere you go, you get wireless charging. All right, that's a big deal. Now, you could buy power cards and put them on your phone like how I did in that video with the Note 4. You could easily do that, but that requires you to use a case on your phone. Sometimes I don't like to use cases. I use cases, majority of the time, but a lot of times I don't like to use the case, especially when I'm indoors. And now you still got your wireless charging feature without the case on. All right, that's a hot feature right there. And if y'all seen that tilt car charger that I got, the wireless car charger, this works great on it. All right, it works great. Wireless charging's a go. Next, the display. All right, now I can't say enough about the display. We don't have to talk about the pixels and all of that, but I will say this. Now, your Galaxy S5, this is just for S5 owners, your display on that was 1080 by 1920. So now with the S6 and the Edge, now you got 1440 by 2560. So that's a big upgrade. You got the Quad HD display. Now I know what y'all gonna say, to the naked eye, you can't really tell and all that. But Super AMOLED displays have always been the best, in my opinion, and Samsung always been on the top of the game with the displays, and this right here is another example of that. All right, the S6 and S6 Edge, beautiful displays. You're gonna love them. All right, you're gonna love it. Next, Fingerprint Scanner. All right, now if y'all had the S5, y'all remember that Fingerprint Scanner was garbage. All right, it was garbage. No way to sugarcoat it. It was trash. Now with the Fingerprint Scanner on the S6 and the S6 Edge, it works great. I would say this works 99.9% of the time. You don't even have to lift your finger up. You could just hold it down and it'll just pop open. And what I did was I set the thumb up twice. So I set the thumb like this and the thumb like this. That's the finger I use the majority of times to open my phone, and it opens 99.9% of the time. That's a major win right there. All right, so no more passcodes, no more swipe, zigzags, trying to remember what your pattern was and all of that. No more people putting dust on your screen and seeing your pattern and going through your phone. None of that right now. Now you got a working fingerprint scanner. All right, so the fingerprint scanner is a go. Next, the camera. Okay, the camera on the S6 and the S6 Edge is at the top of the food chain when it comes to phone cameras. Okay, now, I'm not going to get into all. Matter of fact, let's just look at the camera real quick. We'll get into some of the features real quick. Like when you go on your camera, you see you got slow motion, fast motion, you got your virtual shot, you got your selective focus, panorama, and you got pro. When you go in pro mode, that lets you control everything manually. So all of y'all photographers out there, you could control all of the white balance, everything manually. But normal people that don't know what all that stuff is, you just want a good point and shoot camera. The camera on this is terrific. All right, that's all I can say, terrific. And especially with the double tap to open the camera up, you're not gonna miss any of those world star hip hop moments. All right, if you got your phone in your hand, something go down, double tap, and you in your camera immediately. That's a hot feature right there. So basically, the camera's a go, especially for what most people are gonna use it for, taking pictures of your ham sandwich to post on Instagram, taking pictures of your new kicks, posting on Facebook, taking a little video, throwing it on Instagram. Pictures like that, they're gonna come out perfect. Now that's without using all of the fancy features and all that. You can play with those for yourself, but pictures are gonna come out perfect, and selfies come out great when there's a lot of light. All right, so ladies, and some of y'all fellas too that be, taking mad selfies, the selfie's gonna come out great. When you're taking selfies in the light, all right, ladies, when you're in the bathroom sitting on the sink, your selfie's gonna come out great. Okay, so that's a good camera feature right there. good camera upgrade. Now, but I'm not going to talk about f1 and f2 apertures and all that stuff because most people don't care about that. All you care about is when you're outside and you see that Ferrari down, driving down the block, and you want to take a quick picture and send it to your man or throw it on Instagram. It's going to come out great. And the camera works great in low light too. Now, one thing I will mention about the HTC M9, right after I did the video, the very next day, they did an update on the camera, because y'all remember I was bashing the camera a little bit. So the camera on the M9 has improved, but it still can't touch the S6 camera. It can't touch it. All right. Now, in the daytime, in bright lights, yeah, it can hold its own weight. But at nighttime in low light, HTC One M9 camera cannot compete with the S6 and the S6 Edge. Next. Now you got fast charge, okay? So that's not a new feature, but it's something we talk about real quick. Fast charge works great on this. So now say you go to sleep at night, you forget to charge your phone, you wake up and your phone is at 13%. And damn, you got to leave your house in about 40 minutes. What you going to do? Now you're looking for a charger to bring to work and you forgot to charge your battery charge and all that. Fast charge works great. By the time you take a shit, shower, and shave, get your clothes ready, get your lunch, get everything together, your phone goes from 13% to about 70%. All right, 13 to 70%. So that's a great feature. All right, fast charge, you got to use that. And it works better when your phone is just about to die. All right, when you got 10%, 8%, plug it in, walk away, do some other stuff, and come back and look at your phone. All right, after about 20, 30 minutes, and look at the difference. All right, it's mind-blowing. Love the fast charge. Next, speakers on the bottom now. That's a major upgrade. Y'all remember in your Galaxy S5, you had the speaker on the back? That kind of sucked because when you have a speaker right here, your natural way of holding the phone is like this. So now you're playing a video or something, you're muffling out the sound. So now you got the speaker on the bottom. Okay, still not the best placement, but better than placing it on the back. And surprisingly, the Galaxy S6 speaker is pretty loud. Now, it's not as loud as the M9, it's not as loud as the Nexus 6, but it's good enough. All right, it gets the job done, it's good enough. But if your main reason for buying a phone is you're going to be, playing mad media and doing a whole bunch of stuff, and you really dependent on those speakers, then you might want to look at the M9 or you might want to look at the Nexus because it has better speakers and better sound. The M9 has the best sounding speakers as far as bass and treble and all of that. But the Nexus 6 is the absolute loudest. But this one is pretty good. On the S6 and the S6 Edge, the speaker is pretty good. I got no complaints about it. Next, now you have themes. Okay, now you have themes on your phone. Let's go to themes real quick. You can change your icons, change the whole layout, just like that, pretty much like on the M9. I showed you that already. Now you can theme up your phone without downloading ADW Launcher and all these icon packs. You don't have to root your phone anymore to change the themes. Now you got a theme generator built in. You could go to the store too, and they have a few more themes, not too many yet. The phone is still, in the early stages. I'm pretty sure by the time, the next couple of months, they'll have 1,000 themes on the market. All right, so themes, that's just a nice way to make your phone your own. So now when you see my phone and your phone on the table, there's a good chance that they're going to look totally different. Okay, as opposed to when you see two iPhones on the table, most of the time they look the same. All right, so now you got a theme generator built in. Next, IR Blaster. All right, that's an important feature. You got an IR Blaster. No more remote control wars. We talked about that already. Now, I'm going to try to speed up a little bit. I don't want this video to take an hour, but this is not a race for time. All right? I'm trying to help y'all because $700, $800, that's not peanuts. All right? That's a lot of money for people to spend, especially you've been working hard, 2-3 weeks saving money to get a new phone. Now, you don't want to just watch the first video you see and say, okay, they said they like the phone, let me go get it. You want an in-depth review, and that's what I'm trying to give y'all. So I know if it takes a little bit, long, my bad. All right, my bad. Motions. All right, next, let's talk about motions. Now, they did take away some of the motions that I like, but they did keep a lot of, I'm sorry, I'm getting too many notifications on the side. They did keep a lot of the motions that we do like the swipe to take a screenshot. Let me see if I could do this in front of the camera. Swipe to take a screenshot. That motion is still there. Let's go to settings real quick. All right, so when you go to motion gestures, you see the settings that the gestures that they did keep. So you still got your direct call, you still got smart alert, you still got your mute, turn the phone over to mute, and you still got your palm swipe. That's my favorite one, is palm swipe. All right, so now you see the motion and gestures list is real small now. Not like before, but they kept the important ones and they work. That's the most important thing. It doesn't make sense to have 10 to 15 different motions like on the S5, all these motion gestures, and a lot of times they don't work. A lot of times they don't work 100% of the time. So at least now they narrowed it down and they kept the important ones that they know work all of the time, and they work. So I got no complaints with that. Next, animations. All right, that's another part of TouchWiz that I like now is the animations. Now y'all know TouchWiz isn't my favorite skin, but look at these animations. All right, watch when I hit the power button. You see, take a look at the car in the background. Watch how it zooms into focus. All right, that's a nice animation. And watch when I hit the power button, watch how it closes the screen. You see how it kind of like fades out like that? Now, those are just little things. Not the biggest deal in the world. Those are just little things. But I like nice animations. All right. And TouchWiz animations, they kind of cleaned it up now. So you don't have all of those nature sounds anymore. Remember the bloop, bloop, raindrop sounds and all that craziness? Now it's just simple, smooth, and it looks more like lollipop style animations. Everything is colorful. Everything fades in and out. Real nice. All right. So the animations are go. Next, you got your heart rate monitor. All right. Now, me personally, I don't really use this. All right. No need for me to really use this. If I'm up in the gym and I'm on the treadmill running at 15, and I don't need to check my heart rate to know, that it's over, that I'm going too hard. Once I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack or I feel like I can't breathe, I just go and sit down for a minute. But if y'all really health conscious and all of that, and you're keeping track, you got to, you come to the gym with your book and you monitoring your heart rate every week to see if you're getting in better shape and all of that, then you can use this. It works a little bit better. I did play with it for a while. Remember the other one used to be horizontal. Now this one is vertical, so it's a little bit easier to use. But personally, I don't use it that much. I don't use it that much, but you can play with S Health. I use S Health on my Gear watch. Every now and then you get those alerts telling you, telling you need to walk a little bit. Got tongue tied. Telling you need to take a few more steps and all of that. That's just a cute little feature right there. Kind of gimmicky, but I like it. And it's good motivation. All right, so play with the S. If you got an S6 and you haven't used S Health yet, play with it for a while and get to use it and try to get back in shape. All right. We all getting fat right now. We got to get back in shape for the summer. Next, now this is important, multitasking. All right, now this is something that I kind of bashed on HTC for not having, multitasking. And the only reason I did that is because I'm so used to using it on my Galaxy Note series that it's hard to go to a phone without it. So let's hit multitasking real quick. Let's see what we got on deck. Let's see if I go to, matter of fact, let's do it like this. All right, now say I want to go to Amazon. Right? And I also want to go to calendar at the same time. Now I'm going to have split screen activities. So now I can be on Amazon, checking my delivery dates and all of that. And at the same time, I can be rocking the split screen. Oh, matter of fact, I got the phone on airplane mode. But I can rock split screen. And we'll talk about that in a second. You see what just happened? Let me show you something. All right, matter of fact, let me take this off airplane mode real quick, just so I can show y'all something. Talk amongst yourself. Live videos, no editing going on here, so sometimes you gotta wait. All right, let's try that again. All right, let's hit up Amazon and let's hit up the calendar. Okay, so now I can be on Amazon and my calendar at the same time. When you hit that little dot button in the middle, you get more features. So now I can swap, put Amazon on the bottom, put the calendar on the top. If there was some images, say I had email open on the bottom and I had Facebook on the top, and I want to take an image and email it to somebody, I could just hold on that image, drop it right to the email. Okay, now this is a little feature right here. You can make these little bubbles. All right, now let me turn this off airplane mode real quick. Blowing me up. All right, now we got the little bubbles. You see my little Amazon bubble right there? So now while I'm doing other stuff, I can still be scrolling and doing stuff. Click on the button, pop Amazon right open. All right, we close that back up. So I open Facebook. You could do the swipe down, swipe it into a little corner, and minimize it. I thought I just put this on airplane mode. Hold on a second, fellas, my bad. All right. Shush. All right, now I got all these little bubbles popped open. All right, so now while I'm doing stuff, I could be watching videos, doing whatever I want to do, hit the button, have my Facebook right back open, hit the button, have Amazon right back open. That's multitasking, okay? Now, a lot of people, I read the comments, a lot of people say, no, HTC does have multitasking. You got to go through the windows. It's a difference between using Facebook, hitting your menu button, popping open another app, and you're only seeing one app at a time. That's not multitasking. That's doing one at a time and just going back and forth quick. Multitasking is doing two things at the same time. So you need to have a split screen to have true multitasking. And this phone definitely does that, and it does it well. All right, so you got multitasking. That's a go. You can swipe down and pop it right open. That's a go. Next, TouchWiz. Let's talk about TouchWiz real quick. Now, they cleaned up TouchWiz. This is actually the best version of TouchWiz that I used yet. Out of all of these Samsung phones that I had over the years, ever since the first Samsung Android phone, had all of them, this is the best version of TouchWiz yet. It's the smoothest, but it's not without, your occasional hiccup and lag here and there. You're still going to get that. All right, every now and then you're going to get that here and there, but this is the best version of TouchWiz. It's the smoothest and fastest one yet. Faster than the Note 4. All right, this is the best one yet. Okay, TouchWiz is a go on this. Now, Sense is still my favorite, but now I could actually live with TouchWiz without immediately having to worry about rooting the phone and dropping a different ROM on. Now you could actually work with TouchWiz. Real quick, call quality. Call quality is great. I never had any drop calls. The person hears me fine. Speakerphone, same thing. When you're using the speakerphone, it sounds nice and loud. Everything works good. Web speeds, that's another thing now. It depends on your carrier. All right, you can't blame the phone if you got Bob's Wireless and you're trying to upload a video or something that's taking forever. That's not the phone's fault. That's your carrier. All right, so if you got the right carrier or if you're on Wi-Fi, blazing fast web speeds, you're not going to have a problem. Now, let's talk about the Edge. Let's talk about the Edge features real quick. And it's not too many. All right, it's not too many Edge features, but this is what you're paying for. You're paying for that Edge, so you might as well use them. The main feature I use is this one right here. All right, now you see you got that little tab. You swipe over and you get 5 contacts that you could just tap on real quick. Now I could call or I could send a message. All right, now there's apps that you could get from the Android market. I did a video on apps that have the same kind of functionality, but it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same because you have this curved edge. So once you slide your finger on it, you're going to feel your finger go around that curve. And it feels great. All right, it feels great. You're going to love this feature. Use it. Now, if you got your phone upside down, all right, now if you notice, each eye contact has a different color. You see, you got purple, orange, yellow, green, and blue. Okay? Now, say I got my daughters in blue. So say I got the phone upside down and my daughter calls me. The edge is going to light up in the same color blue as that ring. So now if once you get the phone, after you start using it, you'll have it memorized on whose color is which. Once I'm in the bed and I see that blue light, that means, even if I got my phone on vibrate, I see that blue light, that means my daughter's calling me or texting me or something, whatever. So that's a nice little feature right there for the Edge. Also, if you get a missed call, it gives you another tab. So now you could just call back or you can send them a message. All right, that's the missed calls, or you could just exit out of it. And it'll delete the tab. That's a nice little feature right there. Also with the Edge, all right, now when you got your phone off, let's turn it off. You swipe on the side like this, and it's going to activate your night clock. Or you activate your clock with your information ticker. So now you scroll up. Now you could customize this the way you want. All right, no network service for Twitter. I got Yahoo, Sports. You get missed phone calls. You get messages. I got 26 emails, and you see it actually scrolls. All right, so if you just leave it alone, it'll scroll. You get your messages. All right, it's just, now you could say that feature's a little bit gimmicky and all that, but it works. It doesn't work as good as it works on the Note Edge because the Note Edge is a lot bigger and a lot easier to see, but it works. You also have your night clock. Now, that's a nice little feature. Let's go to the menu real quick. Let's go to the Edge screen. Okay, so you got Edge lighting. I leave that on. That's when you get your phone call. You see you get that little glow right there. That's the People Edge. I leave that on also. So whoever's in that 5 right there will get different colors. You see I got the notifications on, missed calls, emails, information stream. I got that on. Now night clock. You could set up night clock to turn on by itself. I leave it off. But you can set it up. Say you go to sleep every night at 9 o'clock. And then you wake up at, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. So you can set it to come on from 9 to 4, and it'll automatically pop on. You don't have to keep, every time you put your phone down, let me make sure I turn the night clock on. It'll come on by itself. You can also change what side you want the Edge to work on. Now, it would have been nice if both edges worked at the same time. That's another little feature I'm kind of disappointed. Why didn't they have, you see you got edge position on the right side. Why didn't they have both edges working at the same time? So you swipe from this edge and you get people, and then you swipe from the other edge and you get something different. That would have been hot. All right, for $100 extra, that's something that would have been hot. Now, who knows? Maybe they'll upgrade it. You know, who knows? But right now, you can only use one side at a time. Not really feeling that too much. But the edge is just a nice touch. All right, it just gives you that extra edge. You see what I did there? Gives you that extra edge over somebody who just got a S6. And you want to be the main dude on the block. You want to be, you know, Captain America, James Bond. You want to have all the latest and greatest. The edge is just going to push you over the top. Okay, which brings me to my final thing that I like about this phone. And we'll talk about this real quick. The floss factor. All right, now, what's the floss factor, you ask? Well, that's the wow factor. Okay, that's when you pull out your Note, you know, you pull out your S6 or your S6 Edge, and somebody pulls out their HTC M9, somebody pulls out a Nexus, somebody pulls out an iPhone, somebody pulls out a G3 or a Note 4, whatever. Somebody pulls out another phone around you, and they want to get into phone wars. All right, where do you stand? All right, are you on top of the food chain, or do you have to put your phone back in your pocket and go chill out, wait for them to leave, and then come back, and now you back to being James Bond? Well, if you got the S6 Edge, you are officially on top of the food chain. There's no question about it. All right, this is the most flashiest, fanciest looking phone out right now, in my opinion. Now, it's not the only curved display. You got the LG Flex 2, but that curves in the middle. Not really feeling that too much. All right, not really feeling that at all. Everywhere I go so far, and hit me up in the comments and let me know if y'all got the Edge, if this happens to y'all too. When I'm showing somebody the S6 Edge, they immediately love it. And whenever somebody wants to see it, the first thing I do is I take the case off and give it to them so they can have the true feel of it. I have the true feel of it in their hands, and they love it. Now, this is a phone that you could also use a case. All right, so I got this case right here. I did the video yesterday for this oblique. I'm really feeling this one right here. This is the kind of phone that you could actually drop a case on, and you could still see the edge. So putting a case on this phone, I know a lot of people say, oh, why put a case on the phone? It destroys the beauty of the phone. This is one of those phones that even with the case on, you still see the beauty. You can still see that it's curved display. Okay, so floss factor on this phone through the roof, and you have accessories. Okay, now, a lot of accessories. Now, you know, that's a problem when new phones come out. If companies don't think it's going to be that successful, or companies don't take it that seriously, they're not going to make too many accessories for it. Now, y'all know, y'all watch my videos. I'm an accessory whore. I like buying a whole bunch of cases, a whole bunch of, different stuff specifically tailored for that phone. Well, this, if you like me and you like that too, this is one of those phones that it's going to be a lot of cases. It's going to be a lot of aftermarket accessories. You're not going to have a problem finding something that you like specifically for this phone. Now, I've been online all the time. For the last couple of days, I've been looking for new M9 cases. Not too many, hot new M9 cases on the market. I already did basically all of the major ones. I'm waiting for this UAG joint, but pretty much that's it. And when you look at your Nexus 6, same thing. Not too many fancy different cases from all the major companies, but a phone like this, the S6 and the S6 Edge, every company is making a case for it because this is the next big thing. This is the big boy right here on the block, so you're not going to have a problem finding accessories. And the main accessory to get is get yourself a Gear watch. Now, if you got these two together, and fellas, hit me up in the comments and let me know if y'all agree. I noticed that when I started using my my Gear watch connected to my S6 as opposed to connected to my Note, it works better. I'm noticing that I'm getting all of my notifications, on time. Everything works a little bit better in my opinion. Now, that could be just me. Maybe maybe it's just me. Hit me up if y'all notice that too, but it works great. So this is a great combination. Now, you got all your Apple fans out there that's waiting, waiting for that iWatch. And they're going to be running around shutting it down with the iPhone and the iWatch. If you got a Galaxy S6 or S6 Edge, get a Gear or a Gear Solo, a Gear S, and you'll be right there on the same boat. But in my opinion, the Gear S is actually a little bit better because it's a standalone phone. So I don't even need to have any of these phones in my pocket. I can run outside right now with just this on my wrist. I can still make phone calls. I can still send messages. I can still do my thing. All right, so accessories. That kind of pushes this phone over the top with the floss factor, but just I'm behind the camera going like this. I'm having fun, but just the edge feature alone is not enough to say okay, it's the best best phone. But the build quality and the speed and the camera, overall, in my opinion, this is one of the best phones out right now. Now, before all of y'all cats hit me like, oh, you're a Samsung fanboy and all of that, just take it back to my last HTC versus Samsung video, and you'll see that I actually like the M8 better than the S5. All right, so it goes back and forth every year. All right, we talked about this. One year it'll be HTC versus Samsung. HTC will win. The next year, Samsung will learn from their mistakes, and then Samsung will win. With me, I don't have any loyalty to none of these companies. All right, I want the best phone out. Now, a lot of people say, okay, on the Galaxy phone, they copied from Apple, they copied from this, copied from that. Who cares? My thing is, I want them to copy, all right, because I'm getting ready to spend my money. If you know that the iPhone fingerprint scanner is the best, don't try to be different and make some swipe up and down fingerprint scanner. Copy the one from them and put it on this phone so I can have the best too. All right, we should all want the best. Let's not get into these debates about who copied who. Who cares? Unless you got stock in that company. But if you're just a regular consumer like me, you want them to put the best out and you want to get the best bang for your buck. All right, so I don't care how much Samsung copied from this and copied from that. The point is they did it and it works. All right, so right now, this is, I wouldn't say my favorite phone. These are definitely in my top 3. Okay, now if I had to choose one, I know a lot of people are going to ask, if I had to choose one between the S6 Edge or the M9, then I'm going with the Edge. But if I can only walk out the house, if I got to run right now in the next 10 minutes, I got to run to the store, I can only take one phone with me, it's not going to be either one of these. All right, it's going to be my big boy Galaxy Nexus. All right, now that's a whole separate video. We'll talk about that later. But just if you're in the market for a 5.1 inch phone, 5-inch phone, you got 3 choices right now on the table. You got your M9, your S6, and your S6 Edge. Which should you get? I would definitely go with the S6 Edge. All right, I would go with the S6 Edge. It's the flashiest. It's the fastest. Now, this is another question. I know this video getting a little bit long. I'm about to get out of here. Another question is this the smoothest Android experience right now? And the answer is no, it's not. It's a great Android experience. It's great, but it's not the smoothest. That title still stays with HTC. HTC has the smoothest Android experience. And there's things like when you hit the recently used app drawer, sometimes now, fellas, y'all gonna experience this yourself. Sometimes when you hit that button, it doesn't open right away. Or sometimes, like say I'll go to Instagram, I'll be up on the gram, you hit the home button, sometimes it'll be a black screen and then your apps will pop up. Now I'm just nitpicking, I know what's 1 second, what's 2 seconds, that's not a big deal. But the point is, when you got a phone like on your M9, you never have that problem. All right, you never have that problem. When you hit that app drawer, the apps pop right open, you can close them all out and they close right out. Now the phone is working great right now. But I ain't gonna lie, I've had some, hiccups. I've had a little bit of lag here and there. Okay? So now on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no lag at all, and 10 being a super duper lag phone from, 1999, one of those old Windows phones from back in the days, where does this stand at? Where does the S6 and the S6 Edge stand at? I'd give it a 2. Okay? I ain't gonna say 1. I ain't gonna say it has 100% no lag. Okay, because I could get the phone to lag, here and there. But it's pretty much a 2. It's pretty much, you're not going to be having mad lag all day long. And especially if you, one of those people that close out your apps and you're more mindful of what you're doing. Now look at my phone. Let me just show you something. If I open up my phone right now, right, and we go to my recently used apps, I'm the type of dude that I like to have all of these apps open at the same time so I can see what I was doing last. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. When I get back to wherever I'm going next, I want to see what I was doing, an hour ago. And I got all this stuff right here on deck and I could just go to. So I always like to leave that open. I pretty much never close out all of my apps. A lot of people are going to say, well, that's why you're getting lag, because you don't close out all your apps. You shouldn't have to. All right, let's pull out my Google, my Nexus. Let's see how many apps I got open at the same time right now on this, just for fun. All right, let's see. Look how many apps I got open on my Nexus 6. All right, these are all open apps right now that I can just pop back into, and the phone still runs 100% smooth. So nowadays, with all these advancements in technology, and you're spending all this money, you shouldn't have to keep closing out your apps every time you use Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare. 20 minutes later, oh, let me go and close back out my Foursquare. You shouldn't have to do that. All right, all these other phones, you don't have to do that. You shouldn't have to settle. All right, so now I hope this video helped y'all out when y'all making your next purchase. If you're going to ask me which phone to get, I can't answer. It's all up to you. Depends what you like. Now, if you like small phones and you want to get a 5-inch phone and you're going to ask me, should you get the S6 or the M9? I'm going to tell you straight up, get the S6. That's how we're going to end this. All right, the S6 right now is an official beast here. All right, official beast, and the S6 Edge is the flashiest joint on the market. All right, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Shout out to everybody that rock with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with the Amazon Warrior on Sundays. Y'all already know Stream Gangsters on deck. Get your drinks ready. Sunday night, the Hennessy Fest is going down. All right, no meat boys allowed. Oh yeah, one more thing. I almost forgot. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, close your eyes and picture me rolling. It's your boy Floss. I'm out. Deuces.